know the rental market better than anyone, so not partnering with them just, to me, seems ridiculous. So I think that's really important that we start. For example, just to give you one example, the house across the street over here should be utilized right away. The property management company will take care of everything for a 15 to 20% fee, saving our staff time and money by doing the rent collection, dealing with the tenant issues and the maintenance, as well as all the other duties that are currently being done by our own administrative staff. I'm not even sure who collects the rent for that house across the street, but someone in the, in the central office is dealing with all those issues. So again, I think that would free up a lot of time that the central administration office, could use towards other things. And it wouldn't cost the district a penny, which is a great thing. In fact, you'd make more money probably having the management company take over. We would also be building relationships with these community partners to address the housing affordability issues that are affecting so many of our new staff. When Matt said he didn't mean to pour cold water on the idea, I believed him. My hope is that we can revive this discussion once Matt and the central administration team come up and catch their breath after all the changes that have taken place. Really appreciate your time and all that you do. Thanks.
Thank you, Jarrett. Is there anybody else for public comment tonight? Okay. Thank you.
Cindy, you don't want to tell us why your students are here?
I just have a few more that have a report to write, no big deal.
Just a report?
Yeah.
We love seeing the students here, just so you know.
The tennis player, the softball player, and the tractor.
Okay.
Tractor.
Welcome.
Nope, I like it.
Okay. Moving on to business items. Calendar change.
So, this was brought forward, This was brought forward, from the from the music, directors that, they noticed that the District 1 Music Festival fell on Easter weekend. It was gonna cause a lot of, issues with people getting up here, getting adjudicators and different things like that. So they, went through the principals, they went through the activities director, they talked with me. I looked for any major conflicts. I didn't see any major conflicts on the calendar, so they, petitioned to, MHSA to see if they could, move the festival, excuse me, from April 17th, to April 10th. And so that would make a change on the calendar, as you guys can see.
Anybody willing to make a motion?
I'd move to approve the 24-25 calendar change as presented.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Second. Thank you, Sue. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? None. Any public comment on this? None. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Next. Change of dedicated signatures. Chris?
I'm going to jump the gun and just say move to approve Matt Jensen as signer. I don't think it needs to be explained.
Seconded.
We're good with that. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none. Any public comment on this? Seeing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Same for the next one.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. We're making Chris's job very easy tonight. Sherry, did you get that? Jack moved, Lance seconded. Okay. Any discussion? Seeing none. Any public comment? Seeing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay.
Now you
Financial
can have the
report.
floor, Chris.
Budget versus actual. Chris?
Yeah? Oh, wow. Back off. All right. Just the current budget to actual report as of March 31st. I don't know how much those are informative. I mean, to some degree. Currently, what we're seeing, kind of the only kind of major budget issue we're seeing is maintenance running on a run rate to finish probably about $1 million over budget in the current year. We have some massive fixed cost increases. So like water and sewer, approximately 38% up year to date. Our insurance up by better than $100,000 year over year. and a couple other items along those lines. As well, I think just with being short-staffed, contracted services have been necessary, and obviously we're gonna pay a lot more for those than what we would if we were doing whatever work they are in-house. So that's that, unless there's any other questions.
Any questions for Chris? That was a discussion item. Okay. Self-insurance financials.
Only real comments, and there is that equity balance currently at negative $928,000. Of course, in that is the interlocal loan, which we will, in discussion with our auditor, have to address at some point in time, and come up with a game plan, because how we're reporting in our financials now is really probably not accurate or appropriate. So more to come on that down the road. We are kind of one of the big goals in working with Liz and Bromley and Scott and at USI is getting these financials to a place where we have a reserve balance that can absorb a bad year. A bad year can cost us north of $1 million. And we should have, according to their calculations, about a $3 million reserve balance. We got about $4 million to go to get there. If we arrive as planned this year, we should see that reserve balance grow by about $500,000. But it'll be about 5-6 years until we're actually there.
Thank you, Chris. Any questions for Chris? Nope. Okay. Personnel action items. Going to make a motion? Thank you, Jen. Second?
I'll second.
Scott, it's been moved and seconded. Do we have any discussion on this? None? Any public comment on this? None? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes. Okay. Assistant superintendent contract.
So, I can speak on this. So obviously you have the information in front of you. So pretty comprehensive process, and it was pretty obvious to the committee that Sarah Cole was the choice. She's an excellent candidate. I've had the pleasure to work with her for the last 2 years, so she's going to make an excellent member for our team. So I recommend that you move to hire Sarah as the K assistant superintendent.
Have a motion? Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Sue. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
I just got a few comments. I was on the interview committee, and we did have 3 good candidates, but Sarah did stand out above everybody else, and her knowledge of what's going on in the district and her being able to answer questions that were above and really, Sarah. I have no qualms at all about you being able to do this position and do it well. Looking forward to you joining the team once it's voted on by the board. Hoping with a smooth transition across there. So, thank you.
Any other comments? None?
I'll say something. I have a tiny concern about this, knowing the relationship status of the person and another person in the district. And if there's a plan, if there's a breakup or a move out or anything like that, considering the assistant works super close with the other person in the district, I don't want to have another situation like we already currently have and we're dealing with. So I just don't know if this falls under any nepotism or any other laws like that. I know from looking at it, she wouldn't be a superior, but that's just my concern. I wouldn't want to put the district in any harm's way if there was some fallout where then there would be conflict at central admin. So I hope everybody can understand, I'm not trying to be mean or disrespectful or say anything ill about it. I think she's perfect for the position. That's a concern that I have.
Any other comments? None? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay. Motion passes. Okay, up next, KMS principal contract. Kate?
I wasn't a part of this, interview team, but just, heard great things. Again, there was 14 members on there, so everybody from, central office, trustees, a lot of, KMS staff, and, Dallas Stuker was, selected as the next principal for Kalispell Middle School. So, before you the motion.
Anybody willing to make a motion? So moved. Thank you, Sue. Do I have a second? Second. Thank you, Jen. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Comment? Any public comment? None? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any
What
opposed?
that's elementary district.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, Lance. Elementary only. All in favor, Mark, you have to be quiet. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay. Up next hire, Flathead High School Activities Director.
So I was able to sit on this, go through all the applicants. Again, you have a lot of the information, in front of you. So Matt Allison is probably one of the hardest workers, I've seen. He's well respected, by the staff. It'll be a great transition for him. So recommending that Matt Allison, for a lateral move into the FHS Activities Assistant Principal position.
Thank you, Pete. We have a motion to approve. Thank you, Mark. Have a second? Thank you, Jen. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Sue?
I'm basing my comments on the number of emails that I know we have all gotten. I have no problem with the outcome of it, but in talking with several people, it's pretty apparent that we need to tighten up some of our personnel policies, I believe, because there was a lot of confusion about how this came about, and I think it's looking at.
Thank you, Sue. Any other comments? Seeing none. Any public comment? None. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, consent agenda, elementary only.
Move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Thank you, Lance. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Sue. And moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none. Any public comment? None. Elementary only. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Up next, district-wide consent agenda. A motion? Thank you, Jen. A second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Sue. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? None. Any public comment on this? None. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes. Okay, our work study topic tonight, levy update. Sarah?
Hi, everybody. First of all, just super excited to accept this position, grateful to the board. I couldn't be more grateful to work at KPS and work alongside this team. Can't wait to get started. Without further ado, KPS levy update. Stephanie Hill has been doing just such an amazing job communicating what's happening. But I just wanted to shout out some specifics so that everybody's aware. Thank you. I love this quote. The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. Carol, I really appreciate the feedback. I think sometimes we think we're communicating in the most clear and transparent way, and then someone's like, hey, we thought about this, we thought about that. So we've tried to be super responsive to feedback, whether it's on social media posts or it comes up after people have used the Q&A doc. So we take that really seriously. This is just a kind of do's and don'ts visual that we shared. So the central office team led by Matt ran 3 different budget levy updates accessible by all staff. And one of the things we wanted to be really clear on is there are things that we can do as employees of KPS during KPS contracted time, and there are things that we can't. MTSA is really clear on what is information only and what's advocacy. We want people to advocate in ways that feel good to them outside of their contract day, but not necessarily. So we've really tried to take a multimedia approach. I think Stephanie has tapped into lots of different ways to market the levy in kind of a short turnaround time without a communication specialist or someone assigned specifically in the district full time. And we've added some things this year. So everything from presentations, as I discussed, to email blasts. The mailer just came out. I think it was absolutely beautiful. I think it's one of the best we've had in a long time. Super clear. That graph on the high school side that shares data in terms of how it's funded. When we were communicating with stakeholders, teachers, staff, classified, certified, and then also parents and families, they said, you should highlight this. This is a real data-based piece of information that should be shared, and so that was front and center on that mailer. Social media posts, I think we've done a really great job of being super responsive. So if somebody posts something, whether it's positive or negative, we're trying to respond instantly and give that information and direct people to the information so that they have it. Some of the newer things that we've done this year is we've added radio ads, and we also added movie theater ads. Actually, it's going to go live this Thursday. We'll be able to give you a couple sneak peeks. Newspaper articles too. I think you're doing an op-ed piece that might be coming out soon. I'm not sure if anyone else has.
I'm caught up on my emails here, and we're looking for trustees to sign on the op-ed piece. Yeah, and I don't see it on.
Sue, it was on
I
here.
know.
It's disappeared.
I'll be happy to sign on with you.
Can't wait to read it. I'm sure it'll be awesome.
It's lovely. I have it on my computer.
You?
Yeah, I just read it. Not that I wasn't listening to it there.
That's awesome. I can't wait. And then the yard signs came out. Like year after year that we've tried to go for a levy, I know it seems like a small thing, but the yard signs are getting kind of beat up. And so we invested in some new colorful yard signs. And then community meet and greet. So I think Matt's got one scheduled actually this week up at Glacier.
Tomorrow night, 5:30 to 6:30 at
Glacier
Glacier.
High School, yep. For, and he asked principals, hey, identify some people on your PTOs, identify some parents that are active and ask if they'd like to show up and collaborate and ask questions about our current budget status and levy. This is just a quick visual for me of like Stephanie has this shared drive where she's just keeping things year after year. We're trying to really like make database decisions. What seems to work, what's not working so well. We're just gonna fly through some visuals. You guys will get to check out a couple videos and then I'll open it up for questions. Oh, radio ads, super quick. We reached out to Monster and the Bear, and you'll see that those are their 2 main, but they have all these different affiliate stations. And so we've booked, I want to say, over 300 and some 30-second ads that are going to run between April 22nd and the day that we vote, so May 7th. It also includes a couple interview slots. So there's ad slots and interview slots. Some of our teachers are the ones you'll hear voicing those ads. We've got Brian Bay and Sean O'Donnell and just some really amazing teachers who are working in our community that you'll get to hear on the radio. This was new this year. Facebook ads. So in the past, I mean, you see our Facebook page, you see social media blasts. We have about almost 6,000 followers. See this spike. So this is just a week snapshot. We did some paid Facebook ads, and we jumped up to almost 46,000 views. 20,000 of those would have been just hits anyhow, and the other were from intentionally posting ads and specific ads. And so Stephanie's got a couple more blasts going on the next couple of weeks. But you can just see visually, like it's gotten us a lot more people accessing the information. And so now we'll just show you, these are 2 30-second 30-second videos that you'll probably see on social media, but you'll also, if you go to the movie theater, get to check out. No, this is the high school focus one.
Thank you.
Just a quick shout out, if you would be willing to interview with Stephanie Hill, she loves just getting a variety of, whether it's students or parents or teachers, but she'd love to have some board members. So if you're interested and willing to be interviewed, you could email Stephanie. And then just continuing to post, comment, interact with folks. I think that's the biggest thing, is that we're responding quickly and timely to people, and Stephanie, shouldn't be the only voice out there. Last but not least, I kind of sang her praises, but honestly, like, to work full-time as a teacher in our district, to teach at the community college, and do this on top of it is pretty remarkable. And so I just want to, her creativity, organization, and communication has been absolutely much, and hopefully she's listening in, or maybe check this out later, but yeah, she's integral to the Levy Path. Any questions?
A comment. I agree with you. Stephanie's done a job. I've been on the board 5 years now, and the work she's done from when I started to where she's at now really helps in us promoting our levies. I really appreciate the work that she's done, and from a board standpoint.
I just have a question. Do the radio stations, consider it a PSA and they do it free, or they charge?
No, they charge us, actually, we hadn't reached out in the past. I think there was just this assumption that the movie theater and or radio would not be cost effective. And really, at least for the movie theater, if they produce the video, the cost is crazy. But when we produced our own, I think we have a 6-month, we kept it 6 months thinking about a longer communication plan. This is not just levy, let people know about our schools. We can swap out these ads regularly, and I think it was about $5,000 for a 6-month contract. That's every movie in every theater, at every single screen. So from now for the next 6 months, like, it doesn't matter what day of the week or what movie it is, our ads will rotate, and we can change them out as often as we want. So we'll update these to highlight different really cool things that are happening in the district, as another way to just broaden our approach.
Sarah, did you say for the movie ad, will it be running both the tech levy and high school?
Yeah, so we'll alternate both of those videos, and there's no extra charge. We can add as many videos as we want, we can swap them out, so we'll rotate these 2 for now, for the next couple of weeks. But if we are able to produce something, like, our goal was to have students, at one of the high schools actually produce a video. They did that for the Heart Locker, and it was fantastic. It was a time crunch. So we can update them, though, with, new content anytime we want.
But just imagine sitting in the movie theater, getting ready to watch the movie, and these ads come on as you're eating your $12 box of popcorn.
But you get.
There's
Pretty powerful message.
There's your year.
Okay.
That should be our next video. $12 for popcorn.
Yeah,
$1
$1
for kids.
So
Sue?
we could have anything from, football season firing up, 2-a-days firing up. Stuff in our contract, so we start school, like that.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I think once, I know that the board has a communications committee that Jason's been pretty active in. I think once we kind of firm out, like, what is our comprehensive plan, we can start to consider things like this. What are the most cost-effective ways for us to communicate and reach everybody, really? And we got a ton of feedback from people. I think the city used the movie theater, and we had a couple staff come to us and say, like, I was in the movie theater, and I saw this info on the levy, like, why can't we do that? And again, we just assumed it would be not cool, cost-wise, or within our budget. When we reached out, it was actually,
Who knew?
I just wanted to mention to the rest of the board that I did write out a draft for an op-ed piece to go to the media. Matt sent it out with one of his emails on April 20th. If you want to look at it, if you want your name included on that, let me know. Otherwise, I'm not going to. So, yeah, just take a look at that. If you need me to resend it, I will.
I won't put name on.
You don't want your
I
name?
do.
Oh,
I do.
okay,
I
I know
want
that.
it.
Okay.
My.
No, and Stu, I really, was it just me that saw it on the agenda? Maybe I thought I saw it on the agenda. I am positive. I saw it on the agenda and we were all voting on it tonight, so you had all of our signatures. I'm not sure what happened there, but, okay. So that piece will be going out. Sue, when will you be turning that in?
I will probably, let's say Thursday.
Okay. So everybody reach out to Sue, say yay or nay, and she'll add your name or not, and then Sarah, this is exciting. I'm excited we're trying new things.
thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Hey, so that was a record.
Can I,
Yes, Jen.
I hate to jeopardize a record meeting time. I'm not gonna interrupt you, Heather.
Just kidding.
I just wanna say, how pleased I am with the levy efforts that are going on in the various different mediums that we're reaching. The last meeting I was at, 15 minutes of research gleaned a little something, but I'm really impressed with what we have here. And I've actually seen a lot of positive interactions, not that I've been on social media much lately at all, but like the few things I've seen have been really good. So I just want to applaud the efforts of everybody, and I've seen the schools sending emails in an appropriate way, the do's and don'ts, and I feel like that our community understands the financial impact of this, and I know money isn't something that some are knows at by any means, but it's a really small investment in our future, and I just.
Well, and we still have time, so we're not stopping here and passing the buck on everybody else. So the next couple weeks, if you have a group that is meeting and you can take 5 minutes, 10 minutes to just be there to answer questions, that would be great. And again, just keep talking to people. We've got a few more weeks before Election Day, so I think the more people we can reach, the better off we'll be. Okay, with that, everybody take a look at the upcoming meetings. I don't know that any of them have changed from our normal spot, other than board governance, I think, has been moved up. But anything else?
Sure, was there anything else?
I think everybody else is in the same spot. Okay?
Since I'm back and new, and if you guys can think of where I can fill in on any of these, you should, my schedule should turn out during the week, so. Right around. Put me in there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Okay. Be willing to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So made.
Thank you, Jack. Have a second? Oh. Thank you, Krista. Jen usually hops on that one.
I know.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, meeting adjourned.
Record breaking.
That means your students have to come back for another one, since it's so quick.